Hi there, guys. I'm just gonna start doing the demo, that sort of mechanical example that I told you about earlier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just load up an image here. I'm gonna try to do the gun from Tracer from the Overwatch world. So I'm not gonna try to do 100%. Just maybe I'm not gonna be able to finish it. I'm just gonna create some bits so you can see roughly how it works. If I had time, I would create the rest, but we're gonna try to stick to the best I can here because obviously we don't have much time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first I'm gonna try as well to keep these tutorials as small as possible, and I might do one narrated and another one that is just no sound, just me doing it, so you can stop and then have a look how I did it, and then you can progress from there. But because I don't know, this will take probably quite a long time, so just checking everything is recorded. So yeah, everything is recorded. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the again the out the spotlight just for as a reference. So I'm gonna go into texture. I'm gonna say import, and I'm going to. Well, it's taking too long. Shouldn't take too long. Well, don't tell me you're gonna crash now. Let's see if you somehow doesn't affect. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna open that. Yeah, it was fine. Just hang up there. So texture, I selected that one. I'm gonna add it to spotlight. I'm gonna hide it for now. I'm gonna make it quite small. Just gonna have it for you for reference here, but I'm not gonna be using it because I've got another screen on the side with everything in it. So that's just for me as a quick reference. You can have a look as well what I'm doing. And again, I still got the keyboard and everything here. So every time I press something, then you will see what I'm pressing. So at the moment, I'm gonna press Z to just let me see. Everything is working. Everything is working. It should be. Let me restart this because for some reason this is not working. So bear with me. I'm just gonna. Let's see how it works. Yeah, I'm gonna press. Yeah, it's working now. So I'm just going to just control or press Control N to clear the canvas, and I'm gonna just start with this. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this section, which is like the top of the gun here, and see if I can. The closest I'm gonna get to that. But this is gonna take some time because there's a lot of trial and error here. I tried a few things, didn't work, and I just found one just to. I suppose it can work. I mean, at the moment I'm looking at this sort of white section, and I'm just gonna start with a box, and then just gonna make sure that box has like a little bit of a bevel there. So I'm gonna do is I'm going to just create two shapes. So I'm gonna create one for now, then I'll add another one later on. But for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just go into Lightbox, and I'm just gonna start with this with anything here. Okay, just remember you can I'm gonna show you something that I probably haven't shown you before. So I'm gonna double click on this, and I'm just gonna open a project. This is just a sphere, the stuff that we've been working on. So I'm gonna get rid of this perspective so when I do masking and stuff like that, it doesn't mess up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this into an actual box, and you can, because anything there is a tool here, a brush called the Z Modeler, which I'm not going to be using now, but the Z Modeler make use of just modeling inside ZBrush just like you do in Maya, but I think it's very difficult because it has so many shortcuts. So but then one of the features that it has is that you can, anything you have in the viewport, any project, any subtool, you can turn it into the bare minimum, as in turn it into an actual, just a basic primitive. You can do that by initialize, and it has this little section here. You can create from anything, you can create a quick cube. You can see you create a cube, or a sphere, or a grid if you want to, or a cylinder in all the axes if you want to. Wait, this one I'm gonna use it for something else. So, but the box for now, you can actually tell them, hey, I wanna use this, okay, but I'm going to just turn it into something so I can work on it automatically. Now it give you group as well per phase, so which is good. So what you can do is you can then tell them, hey, I want the resolution. You want more resolution, let's say in Z. Then you put, I don't know, 4 or 6 here. Then you click cube and you have now 6 subdivisions in there. Do you want a couple of more subdivisions on top? Then you put subdivisions in the Y, maybe 4 more. And then you hit as well cube and it redo it for you. Then if you want to have a little bit more in, I don't know, in the X direction, like this, then you put that and you can press here 4 and hit cube again. You can see now it makes this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this a little bit. I'm going to move. I'm going to scale it up like that. Okay. I'm going to scale it in Z. So I'm going to use this section here. Okay. So this is just pretty basic stuff, nothing fancy. Just the only thing is this stuff you can actually. The reason this tool set it here is because if you're using the Z modeler, you don't have to go and bring something new like one of these subtools that are more elaborate, like the cylinder and all that. This one has just the bare minimum, so it's good for you to start with something like this. So again, what I'm going to do now is with the move in move mode or in the move translate or rotate scale mode, that you can, if you press Control Shift and you click on a polygroup, you automatically get that polygroup and it masks everything else. Now this, because we've got symmetry and it's working on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale this down like this, just to get this sort of edge here. Like there's a little bit of a curvature there. Now I'm going to scale it in. I think it's scaling too much on this side because this is not in the middle. So what you can do is you can unlock it, you can reset it, put it back in the middle, then lock it again, and then you can just get that working. At the moment I am okay leaving it like that because you see it has symmetry, so you see it's working with the symmetry. So maybe something like this will do for now, I think, like that. And then if you want, you can just move it down if you want a little bit. It's up to you. And then you can just clip him and then scale him up. I just leave it like that because we're going to clip that at the bottom. It's not a problem. So once you have that, okay, what I want to do is just, this is going to be like the sort of the profile of the gun, like this sort of profile around here. So this is what I'm aiming at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now visualize it, what it should look like if I have it in high res. So I'm going to go here into geometry, subdivision. Let me see that everything is recording, double check. I don't want to talk here and then not realizing that it's not working. Okay, it's recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button, the dynamic subdivision, and it sort of gives me like a preview of what it's going to look like. But obviously we don't want this. We can clip this if we want to. But what we can do in order to preserve this sort of a little bit more hard here, then what you can do is, this is only a preview, okay? So if you want to create that sort of curvature, you have to subdivide it. So you subdivide it, oops, in that case, and let me clear the mask first. So if I subdivide it, you can see we're going back to what this dynamic subdivision gives it, which is pretty much a preview of what it looks like if I press the subdivision. You can see I have 3 levels here. Levels are pretty much another, we're going to cover that more in depth later in another classes, but this one now you just subdivide, and you can see now I have, if I do another one, now I have 8,000. But we don't want that, so I'm going to undo all this because obviously it doesn't resemble that edge in there. If you want to keep a hard edge here, then what you can do is you can just uncheck this button, which is the smooth section. So you uncheck it, you give it one go without the subdivision, without the smooth, and then you hit smooth, and then you keep subdividing. You can see it preserves the shape a little bit better because what we did is we gave it one go without having to create a subdivision. Okay, and what it does is when you have, let me do that again so you can see it. So if you subdivide with this on, you see everything gets round very quickly. It's like creases in Maya. So if you uncheck this and then give it 1 or 2 goes and then the rest smooth, you can see it preserves the edges harder. But this is too hard now because does not sort of resemble that curvature that we want. So I'm going to undo that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck the smooth. Okay, I'm going to divide it once and then hit smooth and then sort of divide this until I get, I know, 130,000 polygons. That's fine for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this so I can have this sort of hard transition edge. So what I can do is I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to press Control Shift and I'm going to go into the clipping, and I'm just going to clip, not like that, I'm going to clip this direction. me uncheck this so you can see it. And now you can see here you have that sort of hard edge with that curvature that we want. I'm going to clip the front because the front is going to be straight. I think at this section here I'm going to probably create as a separate piece of geometry and then attach to this. And this one here we just want to keep it like that. Okay. I think at the moment this is perhaps too high. What we can do is, instead of going undo all this, I'm going to undo all that. Okay, and then I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to here. Okay, and I'm just going to sort of move this down a little bit. Again, I'm going to go into move, press Control Shift, click on this, and it automatically masks this poly group. Thing is, oops, I got the Dynamesh on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here. I'm going to press Control, click and drag. No, there was nothing in there. I'm going to go into move. I'm going to press Control Shift and click on this poly group, which make everything else mask. It's a bit tricky to see because of the colors. What I'm going to do, I'm going to scale it down more like that, and then bring it down this, because there is quite a bit of a curvature here, so you can see there's quite a lot there. So I'm just going to keep it perhaps a little bit higher, a little bit more out, perhaps. I'm going to, maybe this is too thin. You can change it later, but let's do it now. So we're going to draw. I'm going to clear the mask. I'm just going to reset this. And at the moment it's taking the symmetry, but if you want you can just, it will work because it's just does it on both sides exactly the same. So I think this is okay-ish now, but I think this is too wide now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control Shift, click on this one, and then moving a little bit. Just remember, every time I press Control Shift and click on one poly group by using the Move Pro, by being in the Move section, it will take that one and it will mask everything else, and you can then just move it. Okay, and because we're working together here, if we press the Control, we can strew things out as well, but we don't want to do that now. Okay, so I'm gonna keep perhaps something like that so I can sort of see the profile a little bit better. I got all the references in my other screen, so I have a better view of what's going on, so I can roughly work out the width and that. So that's that. So roughly this is okay, I guess. We're just doing stuff here, seeing, so you can see the tool set, but might not work. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So I go here. I'm gonna press Control. If I press Control again, because I started with a project that had Dynamesh, then it had Dynamesh on. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to go into Dynamesh and uncheck this so I don't accidentally convert it for now. So again, if Dynamic Subdivision, this is too round, I don't want that. Oops. I'm going to uncheck this, and first I'm going to give it one go without making it smooth, and then I'm going to press Smooth, and then I'm going to divide it a couple of times. 130,000 until it looks quite smooth. You can see there's a little bit of a bevel edge in there. So I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control Shift, and I'm just going to clip this, not in that direction, I want to get it wrong. So I'm going to clip like that so you can get that nice hard transition. Okay, not 100% how I want it, but it doesn't matter. We can fix that later. So I'm going to clip this down there, and I'm just going to clip this here because I don't need that in the front. So we get that sort of section in there. That is pretty much this bit here, sort of, like, then we're going to start cutting everything out. So I think at the moment I can perhaps take, go into Polygroup here, and then press Control, and then mask this out, and then press Control to smooth it, invert it, or maybe I think I might need a bit more. So I'm going to mask this out like this. I'm going to press Control, click to smooth it, invert it, go here into move, then move it out a little bit. I don't know if it messes up much of this, but I think that should be fine. Let's see if it messes it up. Just give me that bevel in there. Let's leave it at that for now. We can do that later on. Okay. So once I do that, then I can start working on just getting the cuts out, the profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, obviously I need this edge here, which is the one that you have in this, around this edge here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then find a way to just cut this section, so we can cut this. So you press Control Shift and you go into the slice curve, and then you can just create one. Either this one doesn't work with levels, so what you can do is you can delete the lower level. We don't need levels because we're just blocking out, and what it does is all the levels you have under there, it deletes them, because you can go to any of those levels. You can see you can go to the lowest, all the way in the middle, and all the way to the high. By you deleting that, you just get rid of all the levels, and you just have a single mesh that has 130,000 polygons. That's it. So now if I press Control Shift and I drag this down, then I can make those cuts that I want. Okay, but before I do that, I'm just going to convert everything in one single polygroup. So again, group visible, so it turns into a single color. Press Control Shift, and then I sort of eyeball it where I think it's going to be. I think it's around there. Okay, then I can cut out this section here. So I'm just going to cut out this bit here. So I'm just going to press Control Shift, and then cut it out there. Oops, that wasn't quite straight. Okay, and then I can press Control Shift, go into selection, and I click here. Control Shift, click and drag to invert a selection, and then I can then do this. I can just go into display properties, and then double, so I can see inside. And then in here in geometry, I'm gonna go into modify topology, and I'm just gonna delete hidden. Okay. So now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this hole. So it does do that, and you remember we had that issue that we don't know what's happening. ZBrush doesn't know that this is the shape that you're looking for. It's just trying to fill it with a single phase the best it can. So sort of average the vertices to make it look quite smooth, make it smooth in between. So again, we want to let me undo this so we can just create this as a single polygroup, because there's a little bit. You see when I create close hole, it creates little extra little things in here. So I'm gonna do extra polygroup. I think they might be very close here where they intersect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn everything into a single polygroup. So group visible, and then when I do close holes, it creates one, and I think it still give you that residue there, but let's see, I think it should be fine. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna scale it down so I can get that cut out. Okay, so I'm gonna press Control Shift, and then by being in the move section, Control Shift, you click on this guy, then you automatically click in there. Okay, now if I scale it, I can scale it down, but you remember what we talked about, it messes up the edges. So what you have to do in order to get like a nice clean cut, you have to extrude it. By extruding, you have to press Control, you move it to one side quickly, but you see the problem we have now is the symmetry. So we have to get rid of the symmetry temporarily by pressing X, and I think it's here. You can just activate symmetry, just check in there. And then I'm gonna press Control, I'm gonna move it to one side. And this is something I'm gonna do now different, because I'm gonna make sure that I put this in the positive X, so when I mirror it goes into the other side, and I'll show you why is it gonna do this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it to the positive, so I would pass whatever information in, so I'm gonna put it into the negative, so whatever pass the information from the positive X to the negative X. So I'm gonna move it to this side like that, because I already pressed Control. So I'm gonna scale it down, okay, to nothing, then move it to this side, okay. So I can just, this is new actually, I figured out the other day, so I can just go and press, gonna clear the mask, I can go and press Control Shift click here, and then Control Shift click and drag, and then delete hidden. That will work. Or what I can do is, because I already know that the messed up bit is in the negative, I just say mirroring well the good stuff to the bad stuff, from the positive Z X to the negative X. All you have to do is mirroring well, and you see it get rid of it automatically without having to hide it. So this is something that the other day I was doing, that extra step is not necessary. Now I just figured out an easier way. So the next thing we want to do is just this sort of cut down there. So I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control Shift, and I'm going to create another group, the slice group again, and I'm just going to drag it here, and then we can just sort of eyeball it there what it's going to be. Okay, and I think maybe that's too high, maybe press Control Shift and then there, so it sort of goes along that edge, I think somewhere there. Okay, so same principle, we press, we don't want to get rid of this, we're going to get rid of this. So we press Control Shift and then we click on this. Now these two share the same color, but they are slightly separate, so we can do it because they have a little bit of a gap in the middle. We tell them to, in polygroup, we tell them, hey, just make it auto groups and then give it to different color because there's a separation between them. Okay, and that was sort of lucky, I suppose. Then when you press Control Shift, you see they have two polygroups. So now we can do it. We can just Control Shift click on this, Control Shift click and drag to invert the mask, and then we tell them to delete hidden. Okay, and then we close that hole. Now this time, because it's a straight line, you sort of figure out pretty well. Say, okay, we just need this like that. And this is always going to give you the resolution based on whatever we have in here. So at the moment there is not enough points to create a good topology because there is a good topology here, but there's not enough topology in there. So now you have the option to actually set remesher here if you want to, just to create something cleaner. So what we can do that, we can just, Dynamesh this, I was getting it wrong. Dynamesh, and then if we press Dynamesh as it is, you can see that that resolution is not good enough, so it messes everything up. We don't need this group for now, we're just cutting things out. So what we can do, we can increase this, maybe 400, and then we have about 90,000. I think that's maybe a tiny touch more, so about 500 something. And then we press Dynamesh, and we are in the 165,000. That should be okay. And here as well, you can see the lines getting too messed up. You can just always blur them a little bit. You can see that it's a post-processing effect. You can see it improve the edges. So a little bit should be fine for now. Just remember that this stuff gets smooth. It doesn't matter, excuse me, because we are going to just we're going to clip them again and do all the things. We're going to be doing more advanced stuff. And then later on, I'm going to show you how to clean that geometry properly. So what we can do now is we can just take this, as in turn it into a simple auto group, just so it's a single mesh now with a single polygroup. Okay, and now if I click here, you can see that we keep that line again, and now we can start looking at the other shape. So I know, because I click this and then there's another shape there, but we know that this is going to be a big chunk there, so we're going to create something that is just a single thing like that. Okay, a single line. So I'm going to press Control Shift and then go into Slice Curve, and I'm just going to clip it somewhere. I think it's somewhere this line. I'm going to create this sort of cut like this. So I'm going to sort of eyeball it, I guess, somewhere around here. Okay, and it creates this. And then I'm going to create another line that goes like that, which is pretty much this one. And that will be pretty much sort of parallel with this, sort of. It's a little bit of an angle, but I'm going to press Control Shift, and I think it's something like that. Okay, and then I have another line that goes here, which is this one there. So we could do that one straight away if we want to. That's fine. And then this line like this is somewhere around there, I guess. So we just do that. Oops, that one like that, I guess. Okay, and then we can just start working what we're going to cut out and what we're going to delete. Control Shift, go into Selection, take this one, invert it, and then we know we don't need this. We don't need this for now. Don't worry about this shape. We're going to polish the shape better. We're just going to get the basic block out. Okay, so I'm going to delete hidden. Go into here, geometry, modify topology, and I'm going to go delete hidden. And then here you're just going to close those holes. And again, it didn't know what it was doing, but we do know. So what we had to do is, again, go press Control Shift, go into Move, Control Shift, we click on this guy here. You automatically mask everything else but that. You can see that this guy now is available. The moment we don't have symmetry on, which is good. So again, if we scale it down, we have the issue of the edges. You might not see it here, but if you see here, you see it mess everything up. So what we have to do, we have to actually extrude it. So you press Control and you move it a little bit. It doesn't matter where you move it at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to move it a little bit so we get the actual extrusions. You can see now, look at these lines now. They're nice and clean. And then we just move it back and we scale it down. And then we're going to decide where we're going to keep it. I know that the last class I told you that you can select this guy, invert it, delete hidden, close hold, and then Z remesh, and you will be back to, again, the way you were. But this one is easy, I think, because if we put this one on the positive Z, we know not too much, because otherwise it's going to start passing. You see, if you do that, it start passing that section there, so we have to be careful. We're going to put it somewhere around there. Just a little tiny touch, even if it's right there, it's fine. So I know it passes. Sorry, my bias on the other side. So we know that we had to pass the positives. With mirror and well works at the moment from the positive side to the negative. So we have to put it in the negative side. So we pass this clean section on here. So we just put a little bit. It doesn't have to be all the way. As a tiny touch like this on this side, that's fine. Then we take that and we say mirror and well. And you can see it goes because it took all this geometry and then mirror to the other side and then put a line in the middle. So you can see now these are really nice clean cuts, you see. Okay, so we got that. Obviously the section in the middle, however it goes inside, we're gonna work that out later on, but for now we're not gonna worry about that. Okay, so we got that. I know that there is a sort of line going this way like this. Okay, so we know that, but I think at the moment this is not long enough to accommodate for that. What we're going to do is we're going to extend it a little bit. So we're going to press draw. We're going to go into move. We're going to press Control Shift, and I'm just going to select a section here. This, for example. Whoops. But no, like that. We're going to press this actually Control to let me clear the mask first. Okay, and then we do this. Let me check how long the video is for now. Nearly half an hour. You see how the time flies. You press Control, click on this to smooth this, invert it, hit the move, and then I'm just going to scale it up so I can accommodate for this. Like that. I'm guessing based on this is gonna go this way like that. This line. I'm gonna not so something like this. So I need to accommodate for that, and I think. Doesn't matter, I can make it longer and then later on I can clip it back on, that's not a problem. Let's keep it like that. We go here, okay. We clear the mask. Everything seems okay, but the geometry is not evenly distributed. So at the moment, perhaps it shouldn't be a problem, but if you want and it's bothering you, you can always go back to the Dynamesh, and then with this resolution, click it on and it sort of accommodate for you everything again. And you have to always keep an eye on the edges and see if it's moving too much. Maybe you need a little bit more, maybe 700. No, I think 500 was okay. It's just that this star was too high. But we can do that later on. So I'm going to press clear the mask, and I'm gonna hit Dynamesh how it is, and then I'm just going to reduce this. But I still mess up in my edges a little, so I'm gonna perhaps increase this a little bit more, like 700, and then Dynamesh it. So it kept it much better. I'm gonna reduce the blur, because that's a post-processing effect, so keep things creepy. We can always go by and clip them anyway, so oops. So again we got this. I'm gonna throw shift to snap it there. Oops. Okay. At the moment you see I'm not pressing any button and the shift is somehow stuck. One of the things that I don't like about this. Now they're all stuck. This gets stuck. Okay. Okay, let's press F to frame. Okay. Okay, that's it. Frame. Okay, press Alt, let go. Okay. Okay, so go a bit temperamental there. So you can see now it's evenly distributed. I'm gonna press Control Shift and I'm gonna go into Slice Curve. Okay. Yeah, slice curve, and then I'm gonna sort of create this line. Doesn't have to be. I don't want to care about this little dipping here. I just want to create something that tells me roughly where the cut is gonna go. So I'm trying to figure out that this here and then this all the way down. So I'm guessing this is that, and then it goes somewhere around here. So I'm gonna clip from here all the way there. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this somewhere there, I guess. I think it has to go a little bit lower like that, I guess. Even lower, perhaps. Let's keep it. Whoops. I'm gonna press here. Let's give it a bit better. Something like that. Oops, I keep doing it wrong. Okay, like that, I guess. So we can always reshape it, it's not a problem. So again, you press Control Shift, we click on this, and we click on all these guys. I'm going to leave this. I'm thinking, shall I just leave it? Yeah, I'm just gonna hide this, and I'm just gonna delete it. Here, Control, Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, and we close the hole. And again, this one did a pretty good job because it was just a single line. There was no changes in direction. So we have this, and then we can just keep looking at this and say, well, is this what we're aiming at? Is that looking good? Not looking good? It's up to you. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to let me see without this how it look like. Yeah, it's okay-ish. You can always crisp this line a little bit. If you're going to make that line a little bit crisper again, all you have to do is just clip it again. You press Control Shift, then clip it. I don't think I have symmetry on. I'm gonna go here, transform, symmetry on, X is the shortcut, and then this, you can see now the line is nice and crisp, but I'm not gonna do that for now because we're still blocking things out, so there's no point in doing that. Okay, so maybe I need to scale it up a little bit, like this, a little bit perhaps. Just eyeballing what I have in there. So, okay, so there's always going to be this line that goes there and then there, so that looks okay. There's always it's going to be another clipping here. Okay, so it's going to be this, and there's going to be another clipping section that goes there. So we're going to do that. Okay. So I'm going to press Control Shift, and I'm just going to slice it. I prefer slice it and then do the filling up there. So it's somewhere the curvature here. I think this curvature is too sharp. Maybe we're gonna have to sort of smooth it later on. I'll find a way to do it. So I don't know how to do it now, but I'll find a way. So we're gonna do is something like this, I guess. Okay. Press Control Shift. Click here. Invert. That's it. Okay. Let's undo that. You have to press Control Shift and going back to this. Unless there's a short. I don't know the short. So delete hidden, close hole is okay. Now there's another line that goes a little bit like this down. Let me check my reference and see if it's a straight line down. No, it's not a straight line, so it's always going to be a little bit of an angle. So we're going to press Control Shift. Okay, and I just want to do it from this side because that's what my reference I have at this side, like this close up in my other screen. So I got this, okay, done. So around this section here, I got another that goes like this. So I'm just gonna slice it that way. So somewhere like, I think it goes like somewhere here. And then it goes with a little bit of an angle like that. Okay. Why it gave me this? Oh, okay. Let me redo that. Do you have an edit redo? Yeah, redo. For some reason that's not here. So, okay. So I'm gonna go and press Control Shift. Click on this. You have to go again into the Control Shift. Invert selection. Hide. Delete hidden. And then close hole. That's fine. Okay. Now there's another one that goes like this. Okay. I'm gonna do it in a single one. If I had to switch it, if I had to clip it a bit better, then I will. I think it's somewhere like this, somewhere like this, I guess. Okay. Control Shift, go here, select these guys, invert it, delete hidden, close hole. That's fine. Okay. That goes okay. That goes okay. That's fine, that's fine. There's a little bit of a slipping here. Oops, not that. I have to go back to slicing. And then I'm gonna do it. I think it's two. So somewhere around. Trying to eyeball things here, guys. Again, Control Shift, invert, delete hidden, insert, not insert merge, close holes. Oops, I forgot to delete the other one, so Control Shift, click on that one, invert, delete here, then close hold. That's fine. That goes okay. Then there is a line that goes like this, like here, always to there, which is this one, that one there. So again, Control Shift, going back to slice curve. So we got that. Now we're going to create this one. We're cutting it somewhere around here, and that goes all the way there up like that. So that would be something like that. So that's fine. Then we need to create another one that goes there, which is this one here. Sorry, this one there. So go there, and that goes from there. That would be then somewhere there. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter that I didn't finish it because I'm not gonna delete those. So. Okay, so got that. Now we need that line here. We lost that line, so I'm gonna press Control Shift and then just redo it there. Okay. So we're keeping all this. We cannot delete this in one go because there's gonna be another section that goes down here. So we press Control Shift, and we could just create a piece of geometry and then just snap it in there and then go into place there. But I think this is too. I think I'm gonna have to extend this guy a little bit further because I don't think it's gonna be able to do it. Because obviously this section here is gonna be cut out like that. So I'm gonna extend it now. See how it goes. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this. Let me see where we are. And then here, and then there. And then another one there, another one there. So this should be somewhere here. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press Control again. Take this guy like this. Blur it. Pressing Control. Invert it. Move it. I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, how can I do that? I could just create a section here, there, and another one there, and this one. Okay, this is fine. Let me see if I can just reuse this and then extrude it down. Okay, we might have to do a bit of a fix here. So I'm gonna press Control Shift. Let me see if I'm trying something. Control Shift this and this. And then Control Shift, click and drag. I'm gonna make this guy a single polygroup, and then I'm gonna press this, and then I can select it now. Pressing Control Shift, being on move and clicking in there. When I have that, then if I press Control, click and drag, I can extrude. Let's see. I don't care about this because this is all gonna go. Now I can scale this, and by scaling it in Y, you can do this in Maya as well, guys. You can just scale things in Y like this. Well, I have shift again, yeah. So it will pretty much zero everything out and then flatten it. You can see here the geometry is good. I don't think that's gonna matter here much. That should be a prop. I think it's because it's mask. Give me that line in there. Let me see. Still the old shift is on. Yeah, the line it shouldn't be there. That's fine. That's because it was mask. So once I had that, I have now. I don't want to get rid of the remesh because I'm going to mess up my polygroup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and then just going to create the lines here, and then I will take them out, and then I'll do the actual section that does the. So this line here should be around there. So that's there, and then I'm gonna create another one that goes Control Shift, and then slice it down like this. So I'm just gonna do that, and then somewhere here, and then somewhere down there like that. Okay, it's looking very messy at the moment, but it should be fine, guys. Soon it's gonna make sense if I'm doing this right. I'm not actually sure now. Okay, I think I'm gonna undo this. maybe this line is too low, maybe it needs to be a bit more steep like this. Okay, so I'm going to actually mess up my polygroups now, and then I'm gonna redo this line because I think I messed up this line that goes like that. So again, I'm gonna go here, slice, and this time I'm gonna press Control Shift, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did here. Okay, this one has a little bit of an angle there. That's fine. We're gonna cut this later on. That's not a problem. So again, Control Shift, and then we do one that goes up like this. Yeah, that's more like I think. Like that. Did it close it? No. Okay, so that's that. Now we need this line that goes there. Okay, that's another one there. Then we go, I'm gonna make just one there, I just wanna cut something out and then I'll do the rest. So, one more, that will be this, and then another one that goes somewhere around there, I think. Okay, now let's see if I got it. Press Control Shift, selection, take this guy, this is fine, this is fine. I'm gonna delete this. Do I have to delete it? No, I don't have to delete that. Yeah, no problem. I'm going to delete hidden, polygroups, geometry, delete hidden. No, I don't want that. I think I need to get rid of that, so just mess it up. So let's say image is fine. I'm gonna press Control Shift, and then I'm going to slice this like that. Okay, so I can delete this. I'm gonna press Control Shift, delete hidden. Okay, then I can fix that later on by just clipping it. I can press Control Shift like that and clip like this. It's fine, you see it's clipped there. Then now I can then do the delete hidden. We got nothing, and then we just close holes, and then we have the same situation as before, and then we can just close those holes for now. And again, I'm gonna press Control Shift, make sure that I'm here, and then clicking that one. No, with the move. If I had to move, I press Control Shift, click here. Then I can press Control, move it. Okay. The symmetry on, it doesn't matter really because I want to scale it down anyway. So when I press Control, move it, then I'm gonna put it in the bad side so I can bring the good side in there. So I'm just gonna scale it down, do nothing, and then I'm gonna move it to here. Okay, that's because I need to get rid of the symmetry, and then move it to this side. Going to draw, clear the mask. Because it's in the, I left the good side here. You see crispy edges, the line here that I can just say mirror and well, and it gets rid of that. Okay, so I'm there already. Got this cut out there. This might not be 100% accurate, guys. So I just wanted to let you know. I'm just doing stuff here just as it goes. I'm not paying attention really to that's your job, guys, to do it properly. I'm gonna just here for you to just cut that out, press Control Shift, delete this, embed, delete hidden, close holes. I think, okay, let me save this. I haven't saved this. This one's saved. Quick Seek demo, replace it, yes. Close holes. Why doesn't want to close the holes? Delete hidden. First you require mesh to be partially hidden. Okay, so why doesn't want to work? Close holes. Close hole doesn't want to work. Why doesn't want to work? Maybe let me fix the auto group so we have a single group. Maybe it works with doesn't ruins too many. So close holes. Doesn't want to do anything. Close holes. Delete hidden. I got nothing hidden. Mirroring well. It's already done. Let me see if I mess up something. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what is happening here. Okay, let's try again. Geometry. Close holes. Doesn't want to do it. Okay, that probably stopped working. So I'm going to stop this tutorial here because it's 46 minutes. Jesus Christ. Is it because? Okay, it's not mask. I mean, if I Dynamesh this here, it will close the hole. If I Dynamesh it, yeah. If I it will close the hole. You see, it closed the hole for you automatically. I don't know why. Maybe it was flipped. I don't know. Let's reduce that. So it doesn't mess up. So that's fine. I think for now. I guess. Talk about that. Okay. Okay. Clean edges, no problem. So now I got that line there, so I just got this. Maybe this is a bit too short now, but I'm just gonna stretch it a little bit. So what I can do is I can probably do a quick slice and then create like a nice clean edge. So I go here, slice, and I just create something here, very clean, you see. Now that I have that clean, I can extend it, and then I can keep clipping it, that's not a problem. So I'm just doing this, guys, with no sort of planning or anything, because I'm just I've tried a few things, but it didn't work, so I think this is probably the easiest. So again, move, Control Shift, click in this, and everything else gets masked. Then, yeah, that's fine. Then I need to make sure that I extrude this, so I press Control, click in hole. Oops, is that Control? Wait a minute, why is this doing this? That shouldn't be happening now. Okay, let's see what happened there. Okay, there's something going on here, let me see. Okay, that shouldn't be, okay, because it was a different polygroup, okay. So, I got polygroups here because I'm doing a slice and it creates an overlap of a polygroup here, which is not 100% clean line because this one was there. So what you have to do is go into polygroups and then just auto group, so it groups everything, and then you do the slice. Okay, so then you do the slice. So you have Control Shift, and then you not like that, but you just do this, and it does something. Okay. So I'm just gonna do it like that. Oops. Okay. And that again, you go into move, and you press Control Shift, and you click here. Okay. And then you just press, if you do this, then you get a messy, dodgy edges, which is something you don't want. Then you have to do is press Control, and then you extrude them. Now your edges should be nice and clean. So I'm just going to extrude so I have a bit more room, but this line can continue like that. It's just that at the beginning I didn't do any sort of planning in terms of the width and the sort of the length of the gun, but we can squeeze this out later on, it's not a problem. So for now, I'm gonna clean this, and then with this done, I'm gonna probably give you a quick Dynamesh. You see, give me a better geometry. And now the edges are still okay, everything okay. Then one final auto group. Okay. Now I can continue with this line here, so I can probably go here into Control Shift and then, or just the clipping. Just gonna clip it, so I can just, let me see if that is. So if I press, because I'm doing this and I want to do the, well, no, it's gonna work. I'm gonna press Control, do something like this. Yeah, and then just clip it there, you see. Okay, so now I have that line. Then I have to do another one that goes there. Then another one that goes all the way up there. Okay, and I'm gonna clip it and then clip again, then there's another section is gonna be in there. I'm gonna have to probably extract this, but I'm gonna leave that for another tutorial because I think I go on meeting now and I cannot continue with this. So I'll continue this with another tutorial and then I'll see you there, guys. At the moment, this is just the blocking out of that section, so it's very basic. Let me put the frame here. You can see everything looks nice and crisp. This section there, don't worry, that it looks a little bit dodgy, it's fine. We're gonna polish that stuff later on. But I just time to create that section there. Okay, so I'm gonna save this and I think we're done for today.